Welcome back to World's News, where we present you the hottest news from all over the entire world. This week's topics are Elon Musk playing the bidding game with a 19-year-old teenager, Irish fishermen versus the Russian Navy, and that NASA wants to retire the ISS. Now you might notice that these aren't as many topics as normally, and that I sound a bit different as well. This week was a bit different due to a COVID infection of mine, which is also the reason for the delay of this video. But I'm feeling great now, and I hope that you'll enjoy this week's news. Elon Musk playing the bidding game with a 19-year-old teen. You all know Elon Musk, right? The guy who co-founded PayPal and the one who founded Tesla and SpaceX and many other big enterprises. The man is a legend, which is why everybody knows that he's the richest person in the world. In 2022, he also wants to transplant the first neural chip into a human, but that is another story. As the richest person in the world, it shouldn't surprise you that Elon Musk has at least one private jet, because with his $222.2 billion US, he could buy 442 Airbus A380 private jets costing $502 million apiece, and therefore being the most expensive private jet on the market. But back to the topic. 19-year-old Jack Sweeney programmed the Twitter bot Elon Jet that monitors Musk's flights. The bot also tweets about the location of the plane's takeoffs and landings as well as the duration of each flight. Because of that, Elon was worried about his safety and asked the teen, "Can you take this down? I don't love the idea of being shot by a nutcase." But Sweeney declined, so their clinch went back and forth from Musk offering $5,000 for Sweeney to put the bot down, over $50,000 wanted by Sweeney in exchange for him taking the bot down, all the way to an internship with the man himself, but Elon Musk didn't answer to this demand. Everyone's wondering how this is gonna play out, but until now, Elon Jet is online and Jack Sweeney met multiple other Twitter accounts, following other planes of people of interest around, and he's still looking for more suggestions. I personally think that this was funny for the first few weeks, but I understand Musk's worries about his privacy and safety. And I also think that bots following around planes of celebrities could become a trend that I'm not sure to like. And I think that nobody likes the idea of being followed around everywhere you go in your plane. Even though most people probably don't have their own plane. But you for sure wouldn't like being followed around, especially if you're a potential target for blackmailing or assassinations, which Elon Musk is, because of his net worth and powerful positions in many leading firms, like Tesla and SpaceX as I mentioned earlier. Irish fishermen versus the Russian Navy. The tensions between Russia and Ukraine are rising, and Russia's Navy now plan to run some battle drills in the Atlantic Ocean. These drills were set to take place 150 miles off the Irish coast, but the Irish fishermen in that region didn't like that because these exercises would have involved the use of naval artillery and launching of rockets, which is why there would have been serious safety risks in the operational area. This wouldn't be much of a problem if the area wouldn't be essential to the fishermen's livelihoods, so Patrick Murphy, the head of the Castletownbere-based Irish South and West Fish Producers Organization, went to see the Russian ambassador in Ireland and told him that the fishermen would work in the area regardless of any naval activities. So a few days ago, Russia officially announced the cancel of these battle drills as a gesture of goodwill, with the aim not to hinder fishing activities. NASA wants to retire the International Space Station. The International Space Station, or ISS, has come a long way. In fact, it has traveled over 2.6 billion miles, which is around as much as 10 round trips to Mars. The ISS is a multinational collaborative project involving 5 participating space agencies. The US-American NASA, the Russian Roscosmos, the Japanese JAXA, the European ESA, and the Canadian CSA. Its purpose was mostly scientific research, exploration, as well as education and cultural outreach. The International Space Station was constructed in space, and you might wonder how that is even possible, but the previously mentioned space agencies built the parts on Earth and then launched them into the orbit where the ISS was assembled. Since then, scientists from all over the world visited the ISS and brought science much further. The ISS circles the Earth in roughly 93 minutes, which is pretty fast given to the average altitude of its orbit being around 400 kilometers or 250 miles. Now, NASA plans to retire the International Space Station by 2031 by crashing it into the Pacific Ocean. The intention is to keep operating the ISS until the end of 2030, after which the ISS would be crashed into a remote part of the Pacific Ocean known as Point Nemo. It will then have orbited 227 nautical miles above Earth, with more than 200 astronauts from 19 different countries who have been up there. So I don't have to say that this will be the end of an unprecedented era, but the space agencies will build a much better version to once again show us how far modern technology has come. Some people say that the next space station will already be commercial, but we'll see about that. These were this week's news from all over the entire world. I hope that you could enjoy this video, and if so, please consider liking or even subscribing to support us on our journey to bring important and funny news to the world. And now to this week's bonus fact. Kangaroos can jump backwards, but only a very small distance.